What's going on, everybody? So we're going to talk today technical analysis. We're going to go over Facebook and the implosion that they had for earnings. I mean, just absolutely destroyed. So just starting off with the video, before I do that, if you guys do want to join my Discord, that link is down in the description box below. Feel free to check it out. With that being said, we closed at $323 on Meta Platforms, ticker symbol FB. With that being said, yeah, we are sitting at $249 in the after hour session. We did hit as low as 200, or we're at 249, and we did hit as low as 244. So with that being said, I mean, you can just take a look here at this absolute nasty candle that Facebook put in today. I mean, this was a previous demand zone. You can see here, we bounced off it last Monday. We were stuck in a little bit of a range last week. Every time we came off this demand zone, we were into supply. We came back down. We're into supply, back down, into supply, back down, into supply. And then when we finally broke through, we had this nice run up here to 332. And I was expecting Facebook Meta to have a good earnings report and potentially push us into that 340 zone, which we did have room to run. With that being said, if you want to check out the full earnings, just go to the ticker symbol, click the news. You can see everything. Basically, in gist of what's going on here with Meta and Facebook, basically they're saying that ad revenue is down because a lot of businesses are not really spending the money advertising just due to the inflation and the supply chain issues that we're having. For example, let's say that you own a business and you buy XYZ product from overseas. You get it manufactured overseas. You're a manufacturer, or you're a business brand here in the United States. And let's say you're running ads through Facebook. Well, because of supply chain issues and because of inflation, because the cost is higher for shipping, because everything is so high and things are taking so long to get here, what is happening is that it's cutting into the brand and AKA companies' bottom line. So what they do not want to do is spend more money on advertising when they don't potentially have product. That is in the midst of things, along with they are losing subscriber base, meaning that they are no longer like the biggest platform where quote unquote young people are spending their time. I think that's why they're doing this whole rebranding thing, trying to get into the metaverse, renaming their company Meta Platforms. With that being said, if we're just talking about the stock here, this is an absolute nasty pull. I mean, nasty pull. So yesterday we did reclaim the 200-day moving average on the triple Qs, extremely bullish. Gapped up 4 points on that today, and this absolutely sucked everything down. Right now, the triple Qs are currently in the after hours trading at 360. So we closed at 368. We lost 8 points after hours on the NASDAQ 100. There's only one of two things that are going to happen here. Okay, I think Facebook's going to take a little bit of time to recover this absolute monstrous move to the downside. I mean, 20 to 22% down in the after hours. That is a humongous haircut to take. Okay, so for all long-term investors, I can feel your pain right now. What do we do next? What are we looking at here from a bigger macro picture? So if I just kind of draw a trend line here down at the bottom where we close, so we can see this on a bigger time frame. I'm actually going to pull up the weekly chart here, and you can see where we came down to. Okay, exactly where we came down to is going all the way back to January of 2021. So we've literally erased a year's worth of growth on Facebook. A year's worth of growth is now been destroyed. So all of this is now gone, erased in one single day. You can forget about it. This never happened. It's almost like they're taking us back to pre-COVID levels, meaning that, when we had this big nasty fall here and then we just went on this insane rally, it seems like they want to bring a lot of stocks back into this range. Seems like a lot of people made a ton of money in this range. They said, hey, you know what? We have inflation. We've got a lot of other stuff going on here in the economy. We need to tighten on this interest rate thing. We need to tighten on the inflation and raise interest rates. With that being said, we're just going to erase everyone's gains from a year, just about 2 years now. That is absolutely insane. So what we want to look for here is if Tesla does start taking out these lows here, 243.60, or not Tesla, excuse me, Facebook. If Facebook does start taking out these lows here at 243.65 and does start confirming this channel here, it does have room down to 232. Okay, so 232 is going to be this orange line here on my screen. That is going to be the weekly 200 moving average, the 200 SMA. This simple moving average here is the granddaddy of them all. This one is basically saying, hey, if you are trending over this and you are bullish, we are in an uptrend. Okay, doesn't matter how big the dip is, even though this is monstrous. This is a big pullback, a big correction. However, this is still an uptrend that we've been riding. Even here during COVID March 2020 crash, we were only down it for just about 3 weeks before we quickly recovered and went on this mega ramp. So if we are going to continue to see growth, if we are going to continue to see uptick, what we are going to want to do is absolutely defend 230. Okay, we're already down here. What we're going to want to do is defend this. Facebook is probably going to need to consolidate at this level, and then it's going to need to start to work up. Okay, how fast it comes back to these levels that we're currently at is yet to be determined. It could be a month, it could be a year, it could be 2 years. We do not know yet. I don't think it's going to be that long, but if the market does decide to put in like a third leg down, okay, so if we take a look at the triple Qs here, if we take a look at the triple Qs from the daily time frame, okay, we have a look at the triple Qs. We can see here we came off those highs of 408. And then we kind of just chopped around in a range. Okay, a little bit of a W pattern that never really broke out. You can call this a double top here. We had our first leg down followed by our first push up. Okay, this was rejected. We made a lower high, and then we had the big leg down. So this would actually be our second leg where we're trying to make this attempt to break out. Now, if we stall in this range, we could very well be looking at a third leg down, which would be technically corrections come in 3 legs. So if this was going to be a true correction on the NASDAQ 100, we got our first leg here, we had our bounce, our second leg here, we have our bounce, and then we would get our third leg here, and then this is where we would start to consolidate and start to move higher. So with that being said, you really want to keep your eyes on what Facebook does, because if the market does go into that third leg down on the correction, you could very well see us lose this 200-day moving average here on the weekly time frame, which is about 230, 233, and we would have to kind of come all the way back here. Maybe the next little area of support is going to be this 220. Okay, and that's going to take us all the way back to November, December 2020, and then realistically, we've got a little bit more room down here to 209. Not something that I was expecting to see, even with the bad earnings. Was not expecting to see. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. So you can see these trend lines that we have here. If we do start to break below 244, our next support is going to be 225 and 210. These would be potential loading zones here for all of you long-term investors. Is it time to buy the dip? I don't know. Just due to the fact that it's going to take a little bit of time here. Even if we can hold this and we do get some sort of push, the only thing I would be cautious about is we can get a push essentially back into 300 and then kind of just start to stall here. And if the market does want to go into that third leg down, we can see a bit of a rollover, and then we can actually come crushing through this 244 pretty easily this second time and come into this support down here at 225. Definitely going to be something you're going to want to keep your eyes on to. Maybe if you are a little bit more risk hungry, maybe you could nibble here, meaning that I would not go in full size, but maybe take a few bites. Okay, maybe take a few bites in this area, and if we do come down, I would start to nibble here, kind of see what we do, and then God, I really hate talking about this because this is the last thing anybody wants to see for the overall stock market. But if we do have a third leg down, if there is some sort of bigger picture going on here to the downside, definitely 210 would be my loading zone, and then depending on how long it takes us to recover, you're going to be sitting really pretty down in this zone here. But let's talk about it from a little bit different perspective here. Maybe we do chop around, maybe we do lose this zone, but quickly reclaim it and then start to push higher. That's one thing that you're going to want to see, but you're also going to want to see when we do push higher that we do back test this area successfully and hold. Okay, so when we come back down the second time, you're not going to want to short, but you're going to want to see if we can hold and then push higher. That's going to be the time I think you're going to want to load in this zone, is on this second attempt to kind of, solidify this as a bottom. But if we just take a look at PayPal's earnings, not only did they get smashed, they actually got smashed, did a little one of these, and now they fell lower. So if that's the same thing that happens with Facebook here, we could be looking at 225 really, really quickly. And then you might want to start nibbling here in this zone on your position, averaging down and so forth. Guys, please do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel, join my Discord. That Discord is down in the description box below. If you guys want to trade with me live every single day, definitely going to want to do that. And I will see you guys all on the next video. Please stay safe out there. We are still, not out of the woods yet. A good 3-day bounce. But look at what's happening. We still have big earnings to come. Amazon tomorrow. I will see you guys all on the next video.